Welcome back to Apple Valley News Now live at 6. Continuing coverage as the city of Mabton already failed once to hold a public hearing on its 2024 budget because they didn't have copies of the budget for the public and the finance person failed to show up. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us they did finally hold the public hearing at last night's meeting, but it lasted only 5 minutes and nothing has changed.
The 2024 budget process coming to a standstill yet again after council members refused to even take a vote on whether to approve the budget, citing concerns about its accuracy.
Where does all this money come from when we don't even know how much money is available?
Jamison Horner, the city's temporary finance hire, says it's complicated.
These numbers are based on the actuals that have been spent and sort of a best estimate, but there's still a lot of work to do on the accounting to get everything straightened out.
Because for 2 years, the city has failed to compare its own financial records against bank statements to check for accounting errors, fraud, or missing funds. Horner urging the council to pass the budget.
All those checks that get sent out are technically not legal until you pass the budget.
But the council again took no action. There's also serious concerns about the numbers they have provided, including several funds with negative balances, declining revenue, and missing ARPA fund information. The city started out with a negative balance in its cemetery, garbage, and custodial funds and continued spending throughout the year, leaving them in an even deeper hole. The deficit's now $255,000 in the cemetery fund, $65,000 in the water fund, $75,000 in the garbage fund, and $7,000 in the custodial fund.
I hate to break it to you, but assuming these numbers are right, you're going to have to raise taxes a lot.
Horner says enterprise funds like garbage or water can't be supported by tax revenue because they're based on utility rates. Since utility tax and franchise fee revenue has dropped by 80% since 2021, consumers could eventually see their utility costs go up.
We have to set rates that sufficiently cover the costs.
Plus, back in January 2023, the mayor told the Association of Washington Cities that Mabton had received a total of $634,000 in ARPA funding, and that the plan was to spend it on adding new water lines for new housing developments, replacing old copper water lines, and putting in a new sprinkler system at Governor's Park. But 2 years later, the city doesn't know how much ARPA funds they have allocated for projects, what they've spent so far, or what they have left. Horner says she hasn't been able to figure it out yet due to the city's accounting issues.
It is a lot worse than I thought it was. It's taking me a lot longer to get through this, and I'm having to go through transaction by transaction, and at this point I haven't been able to get to the line item detail to know whether or not things have come out of ARPA.
But if it's not allocated by the end of the year, the city loses whatever funding they have left. Residents also concerned that over the past few months, the police department has lost its police chief, sergeant, and is now down to just one officer.
I don't know what you guys are thinking about, what kind of plan you guys have. But I'm sure this guy right here needs help.
That officer currently exploring other job opportunities. And if he leaves, the sheriff's office is all Mabton has left.
A couple of weeks ago, they said they would come out for emergencies.
But no response to minor crimes, no investigations, and no arrests, according to the sheriff's office. The city did finally list the open positions on its website, but not the job descriptions.
We're in the process. Yeah.
Well, that's what we've been saying for the last couple of months since the chief's been gone, and it hasn't been well done.
We've been doing it, Sophie. It's not something that happens overnight.
The council, mayor, and community also at odds over applying for an EPA grant that could potentially fund a water treatment facility. But with no action taken at the meeting, it's unlikely they'll be able to meet the deadline, which is only a week away. As for the city's response,
before everybody heads out, I'd just like to extend an invitation. If the mayor or any of the council members want to talk to me, I'll be right outside, or any of the community members either.
I waited outside for half an hour after the meeting. 2 council members gave me short statements about the 2024 budget. Sophie Sotelo saying, quote, "I'm just hoping that she gives us a little more information by the next meeting in December." Vera Zavala saying, quote, "I'm ready to pass the budget. We just need to fix it later." We'll be diving deeper into the water issues in Mabton and the city's options for water treatment moving forward in an upcoming story. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.